Don't need a circle. Don't need a triangle. I mean, I'd rather have a rectangle. Always had this thought in the back of my head that movies had it over painting in a way because you had this rectangle where everything moved. There's some kind of wow to that. It's not a frozen thing on the wall. That's what I make, is frozen things that stay in place. They don't move. I mean, there's salvation in that too. As a kid, I visited here, and I had remnants of feelings about this place. You know, there was this kind of an urgency and optimism that was underneath it all. And so when I got ready to leave Oklahoma, I knew that Los Angeles was swank, and it sparkled and twinkled. You know, it just had some great magnetic attraction for me. So I knew that this was going to be a place to come to. Oh yeah, I hitchhiked a few times across country, yeah. In junior high school, I went from Oklahoma to Miami. We got picked up by an ex-Marine, spouted Shakespeare as he drove for many hours. We got our ears full. It was actually kind of fun. I do remember it was 26 rides to get to West Palm Beach, and it took me 26 rides to get back. I photographed these gas stations, and it became sort of a fetish of mine, I guess. I mean, there have been great painters throughout history who have done beautifully rendered sunsets and sunrises and all that. They're more serious about it, and I'm taking it back a step. I'm using a background or a sunset as a stage setting. You have to admit, to look at a sunset or a sunrise is a great thing. We have day after day of it, don't we? There's a loneliness about the desert that actually beats the city. I mean, at its own game. To see the spectacle of the desert, it's the flip side of this place I live. Grapefruits right here. Yeah, almost all these are citrus, except for like 3 avocados back there. And the desert fits in there too somehow because I like the vegetation. Again, stop the presses. He likes vegetation.
Okay, let's go up here. Woody, just walk up over here. Yeah. We'll walk over here.
These are trees and plants that didn't make it. I guess some people collect teacups or thimbles, and I collect tree tags that I've taken after the plants have died. It was important to me to get the correct date. Well, I just come here every day and figuratively bring my lunch pail to work. And that's fun for me, and it's the only game I know. I think I could have almost made my art anywhere I settled, but the city certainly is the backbone to what I'm up to. I look at all these boxes on the road with words on them, and so words seem to affect me in some way, I guess. I look upon them as though they're like flowers. I mean, I'm guilty of linguistic kleptomania. I just see things out there and somehow they become part of my art.
I mean, the idea of Hollywood has lots of meanings. And one is this image of something fake up here being held up with sticks. That, to me, had more in meaning with the term Hollywood than any of its other usual associations. I don't think it should stay. It doesn't even mean landmark to me. It might as well fall down. That's more Hollywood, is to have it fall down or be removed. But in the end, it's more Hollywood to put it back up.
I got influenced as a kid by watching old movies and particular things in movies like a train, how they handled trains that were coming out of nowhere and then suddenly they would zoom into space. See, it's almost like this. It's a still picture, but it's got its own motion to it. All I needed to make a movie was an excuse. And this little shaggy dog story was an excuse to make a movie. And at one point, she was supposed to say, well, that's 3 hours. And I would say, yeah, but let's see, I haven't thought this thing out. I wonder whether you should say 1 hour, or 2 hours, or 3 hours, or 4 hours. So I had her do it all 4 ways. And she was saying, why don't you just decide what you want? You want 3, 4, 2, what? And so that was amateur filmmaking. Here's the tag, Buchalokia, Indian ghost pepper, the hottest pepper in the world, 1 million Scoville units. Yeah, keep out of the reach of children and adults. Come on, boy. Woody. Come on, come on.